Hi, I'm Ken Pash, creator of the KiVisions Leader Development Process. A warm welcome to you all, but especially if this is your first time with us. This webinar is intended to give you an overview of our process, which, as you can see, has three main components. Remember, your focus should remain on learning to use the model. Other than this overview of the process or answering your specific questions on the system or challenge, most of the info we provide focuses on helping you learn to use our model. But this presentation is specifically oriented toward those who want greater comfort and confidence that we have our stuff together, that we actually have what you need for your journey, which is why we will focus on the system. The system was engineered to help you learn to use the model to the best of your ability. And the challenge was designed as motivation to help keep you on the path that will set you apart from others who never make the leap to becoming a great leader. You may find learning about the system provides more info than you wanted. Yeah, that's okay. It's our intent that you learn to use the model, not concentrate on the system. But there are many who desire to understand what we are all about. This webinar was built to show you we have the tools and resources necessary to fulfill our promise of being with you throughout your entire leadership journey. The other group for whom this webinar is offered are those organizations who are interested in adopting our process and are exploring the idea of securing our help so they can become and always be a truly successful organization. It is my hope that what I present here will spark some ideas of the rewards you might reap by using our process. Let's get started. The model was the result of an epiphany I had when I transitioned from flying and struggled to become a leader during my early medical center days. It is now the focal point of all things we do at KiVisions. It has a pretty good track record of helping true leaders achieve phenomenal results. I'll quickly refresh your memory on the components in the model. There are 7 basic steps. The plane could represent you, your crew, your organization, etc. 2 of the steps are covered by that plane. First, you gotta point the plane in the right direction. Where do you want to go? Then, you have to ensure the plane is outfitted properly to achieve that vision. Next, notice the 4 arrows. They represent the 4 forces leaders must balance to get the plane off the ground and keep it in the air. The first, lift. Have you ever worked in an organization where you and most of the people there felt inspired? Being inspired is just one example of lift, which gives you the potential to get off the ground. The arrow to the right represents thrust. Isn't it great when either by yourself or with a team, you achieve something you set out to do? Thrust is created by effective results and turns potential lift into actual lift. The arrow pointing left represents drag. Ever worked for an organization where people just did not communicate well? Did that feel like a drag? The lack of good communication is one of the things that causes ineffectiveness. Drag holds you back. The force represented by the down arrow is weight. Those things that make it harder to get off the ground and climb. When people are doing everything they can to help the organization achieve goals, they are said to be pulling their weight. When that happens, the organization is achieving enough lift and thrust to compensate for weight. The real key is dealing with dead weight or potential that is locked up inside people. And do not assume that the problem is the people. First, take a look toward the leader to ensure he or she has done the job to unlock, engage, and optimize that potential. Next, we deal with external conditions. There are 2 primary types. Those to avoid, represented by the storm cloud. Yeah, you don't want to fly through those. And those we got to deal with, like the wind pushing these clouds. One big example falls in this latter category of things we got to deal with, and that's gravity. Which do your competitors spend time on? Helping you succeed or trying to ensure you fail? Our competition can be just like gravity, always attempting to pull us down. It is a force we must contend with. With that overview of the model, let's focus on the purpose of this webinar. Just as I didn't walk out in a flight line, have someone throw me the keys to the airplane and take off, I had to figure out how to ensure you had a fair chance to understand and use the model. Since the gyroscope is such an important component of flight, especially in keeping flyers oriented, it just seemed to be the perfect object to represent the system we developed. And I am proud to say my son came up with the gyroscope idea. He's brilliant. He must take after his mom. Let's see how the components of a gyroscope connect to our process. You got the rotor and the spindle and the latitudinal gimbal and the longitudinal gimbal. These are the technical names of the components. Let's see how they work in our process. Because it's the most complicated portion of the system, we'll deal with the rotor in a bit. The secrets to understand the model are delivered through our brands. The spindle depicts our teaching, mentoring brand, Soaring Leaders Academy. The latitudinal gimbal depicts our coaching brand, True Leaders Forum. The longitudinal gimbal depicts our consulting brand, Impact on Results. Now for the rotor. Unlike so many other programs who seem to believe leader development can be one size fits all, it can't. Everything we do was developed to help people at their expected level of leader readiness, whether they be emerging leaders or leaders with history or leaders of leaders. Each piece of the rotor was constructed with this in mind. The rotor is actually two rings, inner and outer. The inner ring represents our 9-step Helping True Leaders Soar to Greatness Leader Development Series, which is the crux of how we help good people become great leaders. The outer ring contains the pieces to our challenge to leaders. The positioning of each portion of the challenge corresponds to the appropriate piece of the Helping True Leaders Soar to Greatness series. Let me show you what I mean by looking at the rotor two-dimensionally. The outer ring of the rotor encompasses the 3 ratings all leaders who strive to achieve greatness earn and incorporate into their leader philosophy, along with 2 complements necessary to ensure you can most effectively use those ratings to help you and the people working with you soar. The inner ring houses each step of our series and provides lots of the meat we use to help you grow your capability and confidence. Let's go through each step to give you an idea of how this works. Ground school is the starting point. It serves as the foundational complement to the system. As it was when I began flight training, it's where your journey should begin. On course, step 1 in our Helping True Leaders Soar to Greatness series supports your development in ground school. Yeah, I get this question a lot. As you work through the series, we will offer you instruments to help you navigate your way through the complexities of becoming a great leader. The first, to help you get and stay on course, a heading indicator. And yeah, the instruments we use are replicas of those I use to pilot an airplane. The progression through the series and ratings is indicated by the arrows. Although it is highly recommended, you do not have to accept the challenge. You can simply work through the material in a series. Our research indicates you will get much more from the material and be a much more remarkable leader if you accept the challenge. The first rating in the challenge, earn your wings. It's intended for emerging leaders and is oriented toward helping those emerging leaders fully grasp the importance of understanding and dealing with expectations. Plus, it gives more senior leaders a baseline for developing emerging leaders. As I mentioned, flyers start in ground school, and instructor pilots must be in the cockpit for the first few flights. However, pilots in training look forward to the very first time they get to fly by themselves. It's called flying solo. I will never forget that day. I still think my best landing ever was my first one when I first soloed. Step 2 in our series, Become the Boss, will give you the ability and confidence to take your first solo flight as a leader. Do not assume things will go peachy keen. The key is to be open to learning from your mistakes. Just don't make one that causes you to crash and burn. The next big event for pilots in training is to be adept enough to manage a cross-country flight. Don't get too emboldened by the term. Cross-country is not defined as coast to coast, but instead flying at least 50 miles from your base airport. And trust me, it's far enough at this stage. The thrills are amazing when you venture beyond your current comfort zone as a leader, too. In step 3, the Leader's Magic Mirror will help you accomplish your cross-country by dealing with 2 enlightening aspects. First look, your internal reflection, and second take, your external image. The final step to earn your wings is to understand how to lead with pride. If you accept the challenge and complete step 4, you will be awarded your first rating. You will have earned your wings and earned the title leader. But don't let this title go to your head. You will still have lots to learn. It takes many years to complete this rating. The next phase is for leaders with history. These leaders have gained depth and breadth of experience and are learning to consistently achieve excellence in order to master flight. Plus, it gives more senior leaders a baseline for developing leaders with history. Step 5 in this series will help these leaders grow forward. In other words, they learn from yesterday, look to tomorrow, but focus on being successful today. Step 6 in this series will help these leaders take the path from the ideal through the ordeal to become the real deal. Step 7 in the series will help these leaders have a firm grasp on finding, keeping, and rewarding the people they need to be successful. If you accept the challenge and complete Step 7, you will be awarded your second rating. You will have mastered flight. The star on the top of the wings indicates you have earned the title Senior Leader. It will take leaders an additional number of years to complete this rating. The final rating, to soar, is for leaders of leaders. These leaders have advanced to the level where they understand the necessity to champion the sustainability of an organization by diligently attempting to master the development of other leaders. Step 8, make your organization click, is only intended for those who have proven they have the capability to tackle the concepts addressed. Upon completion, you will be awarded your third rating. You will now be able to fully soar. The wreath that surrounds the star on your wings indicates you have earned the title Command Leader. I wish you well on your journey. It is my hope that upon completing this final phase, you will have the tools you need to become a breakthrough leader, someone who serves to break through barriers that have kept us from improving the lives of others as well as our own. It may take a lifetime, and I believe the rewards are worth it. I mentioned that the time to go from one rating to the next can take many years. Many have asked me, so what do I do if I need help and I'm not yet ready to progress to the next level? Let's take another peek at what happens for flyers in the same circumstance. Before I was ready to tackle the next higher rating, I had the requirement to maintain currency at the rating I had earned. In the same vein, the second of our complements within has the ability to work with you on your specific issues and help you overcome obstacles and find opportunities for growth. Step 9 in the series is reserved specifically to help deal with your issues regardless of your current level of leader readiness, which is why the arrows go in both directions, because it depends upon where you are. As I said at the beginning, it all fits together and has worked very well. The Helping True Leaders Soar to Greatness Leader Development Series would do wonders on its own, but combining the challenge to leaders has made a huge difference. When you realize how much it will help you, I hope you have what it takes and accept the challenge. Together, the pieces form a process that will help you get where you want to go, to give you the knowledge and the confidence to make a huge difference in your part of the world. The system was built to ensure the right people get the right stuff in the right way at the right time. Remember, you do not need to understand the workings of the system. That's my job. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to learn and use the Ventures in Human Dynamics model to the best of your ability. I'm only showing you the system to give you great confidence that we have our stuff together. Together, we can be your wingman throughout your journey. We use the system to help you learn and then employ the model. You know, it took me 30 years to perfect the KiVisions leader development process. I believe it is the key to developing great leaders. If you employ the model correctly, it will help you unlock, engage, and optimize human potential, yours and those you do or will lead. How might we help you? Contact us. We offer many options to serve you based upon your willingness and ability to engage. Until we visit again, please become the ace. Live with an abundance mentality. Concentrate on priorities and earnestly pursue your purpose with passion. Our website offers a free webinar on how to start that process. And maybe a wingman accompanying you along your journey is what you need to ensure you get where you know you could go. As the chief wingman at KiVisions, I'm here when you need me. I can't wait to work with you.